Friends, today we're going to watch another action-packed high school drama. This one is quite enjoyable and will give you as much fun as Weak Hero. It's the story of a boy named Gammon, who simply wanted to study and get good grades. But the poor boy finds himself trapped in a school where everything is beyond academics. Everywhere, boys and girls alike are fighting. So how will Gammon manage to study in such a school? Let's find out. The story begins in a classroom where the teachers are busy teaching, but no one seems to care about studies. Everyone is sleeping peacefully, but a boy named Gammon is studying very hard. It seems he's the topper of his class, but in reality, he's in second place in the entire school, and that too from the bottom. Gammon explains that since childhood, he's been determined to study and get good grades and even joined every famous academy. But nothing has changed. Gammon even talked to his mother and got a private tutor, but even after that, he couldn't get good grades. Then one day at school, he overheard a boy saying, "If you want to go to college with good grades, go to Yusung Technical High School." Gammon, hearing this, decided to attend that school. Another friend of the boy told him that he'd rather die than go to that school, but Gammon didn't know this. He enrolls at Yusung High School. But the moment he opens the classroom door on the first day, he sees a war raging inside. There's no sign of studying anywhere. This disturbs Gammon. He feels like everyone there is always fighting. With just a little studying, Gammon believes he will surpass them all. But then, in the entire 10th grade, Gammon ranks 219th out of 220 students. But he still refuses to give up. He thinks there must be someone among these bullies who wants to study. So the next day, Gammon starts observing everyone's faces. But just by looking at them, he understands they have no interest in studying. Then Gammon spots a boy named Sehun, who is sitting quietly. Gammon goes up to him and asks if he'll study with him. But before he can say anything, another boy pushes him and says, "Come on, let's fight, I want to improve my ranking." Actually, there's an app in the school where students fight each other to improve their rankings. Now this boy, who was ranked 173rd, fights Sehun, who was ranked 170th, and beats him badly. Sehun is unable to do anything and loses. This boy's rank in the app rises to 170th. Gammon, completely at a loss, is confused. He helps Sehun. Just then, a teacher arrives with a stick and tells him that a new teacher, Miss Lee, will be teaching him instead of his old one. Gammon sees that it's the same Miss Lee who was his private tutor. Miss Lee begins taking attendance and a boy starts blabbering about being present by throwing something. Just then, an object comes flying toward Miss Lee, thrown by Yanwoo, the strongest boy in the class. He shouts, "Who just threw that thing and ruined my sleep?" A boy raises his hand in fear, and Yanwoo slaps him twice and walks away. Another boy exclaims, "You ruined my coffee by throwing it there." He curses at Yanwoo. A fight breaks out in the class once again. Yanwoo begins beating the boy severely, and all the other students start betting on who will win. Miss Lee is shocked. It's her first day. She yells at all the children to sit down. Yanwoo returns to the class and tells everyone to sit down, and everyone sits quietly. Miss Lee is surprised to find the trash bin filled with cigarette butts. She also notices drums placed around the school where children stand and smoke. They fear no one. Just then, Gammon approaches Miss Lee and speaks to her. Miss Lee recognizes him and says, "You've grown up so much." Gammon asks her, "Are you going to teach in this school? If so, then don't teach here. The previous teacher left within a month." Miss Lee replies, "You've grown up so much that now you worry about me. Leave it to me." She then asks, "How are your studies going?" Gammon tells her that he wants to form a study group. Gammon then starts following the same boy, Sehun, and discovers that the school has a library. But Sehun falls asleep peacefully there. Gammon begins to follow Sehun everywhere. He often comes to the library and talks to him about studies. Seeing this, Sehun becomes annoyed and says, "Okay, but I'll only help you with your studies once." Sehun starts explaining a math problem to him, but realizes that Gammon is a complete zero in studies. Meanwhile, Miss Lee goes to the vice principal and tells him they should remove the drums from the school. Maybe this way the children will stop smoking. But the vice principal and the principal are just like the students. He says removing the drums won't stop them from smoking. He adds, "I haven't been able to quit smoking in 40 years. Miss Lee leaves disappointed. Meanwhile, Sehun sees that Gammon has taken notes on every single thing the teacher said. But the math teacher said things that had nothing to do with the question. Seeing this, Sehun says, "You're absolutely stupid." He asks why Gammon wants to study so hard. Gammon explains, "I want to get good grades." He says, "I know you're a studious student too. You have neck syndrome from slouching while reading. You have marks on your fingers from writing too much, and your eyes clearly show that you want to study." Gammon suggests, "Let's form a study group together." But Sehun says, "Are you a little crazy? A study group? That boy Han would never let that happen." Gammon asks, "Who is this Han?" Sehun tells him that Han is the son of the chairman of the famous John Bayek gang, and that he created the ranking app. He's the #1 fighter in the entire school. He's driven all the students to fight each other and increase their rankings on the app. Gammon asks, "What does this have to do with our studies?" Gammon shows Sehun his mark sheet, which he found while picking up his luggage that day. Sehun's academic rank is second. Sehun becomes emotional after seeing this. Gammon says, "Let's form a study group and go to college together." But Sehun takes the result, tears it up, and throws it away, saying, "I don't want to study." With that, he he leaves. Then, during an event, the vice principal presents an award to Han and declares him the best student in the school. Sehun is saddened by this. Later, someone bumps into him in the bathroom. Sehun gets angry and asks, "Who is that?" But the boy turns out to be Han-woo. He starts beating Sehun. Sehun doesn't fight back. Han-woo says, "You'll bring me 200,000 won tomorrow." Sehun replies, "I don't have that much money." Meanwhile, Misli starts walking through the hallway. Just then, she hears a noise. She sees Yan-woo severely beating Sehun for not giving him the money. Seeing this, Misli goes to call 2 teachers for help, but the cowardly teachers run away. Misli tries to save Sehun herself. Just then, Gammon arrives and stops them, saying, "I'll help him myself." Gammon puts on a mask, brings a fire extinguisher, sprays the entire area, picks up Sehun, and runs away. He brings Sehun to a quiet spot. But Sehun asks, "Why are you doing this? Why did you help me? He was going to kill me and end everything. But now, because I ran away, he'll bully me every day." Sehun says, "I also want to study, but this has become a matter of life and death." Saying this, Sehun starts to leave. Yan-woo appears in front of him again, hits Sehun, and says, "I know that other boy was from our class. Tell me where he is." But Sehun doesn't want to drag Gammon into this, so he stays silent. Just then, Yan-woo hits him hard and throws a baseball bat at the bed. But Gammon breaks the bed with one kick. Actually, Gammon had been training every morning since childhood. He had heard somewhere that a strong body builds a strong mind. That's why he trained hard every day and became very strong. But even this didn't improve his grades. Here, Gammon knocks Yan-woo unconscious with a single punch, and Sehun is shocked. Gammon says, "Don't worry about being bullied and join my study group." Sehun still refuses and says, "I don't want to join it." He tells Gammon, "I know you're not confident either. That's why you're wearing a mask to hide your identity." Saying this, Sehun leaves. Afterward, he returns home. Sehun is very poor and lives with his father. His father has no interest in Sehun's studies. He says studying and going to college is pointless, so Sehun should quit school and learn some work. Sehun replies, "Please, Dad, stop now. I don't want to hear this every day." "Okay, I won't go to college and I'll stop studying and learn something." His father gets angry and says, "You can't talk to me like that." Sehun, also angry, gets up and sits outside without eating. He sees his math notebook, which had been thrown in the garbage. Sehun wanted to study, but his circumstances were not supportive. Meanwhile, Gammon also wanted to study, but no one was willing to study with him. Since childhood, other children's mothers would tell Gammon's mother that their sons had joined a study group. They would say Gammon should also join a study group to get good grades. Gammon went to other children, but no one accepted him. He couldn't join any study group. This made Gammon very upset. His mother would see him crying and say, "If you're not good at studies, don't worry. It doesn't matter." But Gammon still wanted to improve himself. He thinks about this even today. The next day, Misli wakes up. She doesn't want to go to that useless school at all, but she is a teacher. She had to go. She tells herself this and returns to school. There she finds the drums she removed yesterday are back in the school. The children are happily standing around smoking cigarettes. Just then, the discipline chief arrives with a stick. "Quickly, get out of there!" he yells, shooing them all away. Then he tells Misli, "Please remove all these drums. A school inspector has come to inspect our school. He's with the vice principal." He immediately runs away. Misli begins removing the drums alone again. Then another boy, Park Gun, helps her. He tells Misli that it's better to let the school inspector see the real condition of the school. Misli replies, "I want that too, but what can we do? This is our school. We have to change it ourselves." Park says something, but Misli insists, "I won't give up." She tells Park to go back to class. Meanwhile, when Gammon comes to class, he finds a notebook on his desk with Sehun's name written on it. It was Sehun's math notebook that he had picked up from the trash that night to return to Gammon. Gammon thanks him for giving it back. Just then, a desk hits him. It was Yan-woo who hit him. He says, "I know it was the masked guy yesterday." He takes the notebook. Gammon says, "Give it back to me." Meanwhile, the school inspector and the vice principal are walking around the school, observing everything, when they spot Misli removing the drums alone. The inspector immediately approaches her. The discipline chief quickly grabs the drum and leaves. The school inspector, looking at Misli, asks, "Have we met before?" But the vice principal says, "That's impossible. She just joined the school yesterday." They are talking when suddenly an axe breaks through the window and falls outside. Misli immediately runs to her class. A while ago, when Yan-woo was fighting Gammon, he burned the notebook and used the axe to attack Gammon. But Gammon, who was skilled at fighting, easily knocked him down. This shocks all the children. Just then, Park passes by and witnesses everything. Gammon was only trying to save the notebook from being burned, but it burns completely, destroying it. This enrages Gammon. He tells Yan-woo to apologize to Sehun, but Yan-woo attacks Gammon with an axe. Gammon counters with a martial arts move and knocks the axe out of the window with a single punch. Gammon then dodges Yan-woo's punches and knocks him down. Yan-woo throws a burning bag at him. Everyone watches as Gammon kicks the bag back at Yan-woo, sending him crashing into a wall and knocking him unconscious. Gammon tells him to apologize to Sehun before he dies. Sehun, who was watching, realizes how much Gammon cares for him. He understands that Gammon truly wants to study with him. Sehun approaches Gammon, and Gammon says, "I'm sorry, I couldn't save your notebook." But Sehun angrily throws the notebook into the dustbin because Gammon burned his hand trying to protect it. Sehun says, "Okay, I'll join your study group." This makes Gammon very happy. Meanwhile, Misli comes running into the classroom. Seeing the fire, she immediately immediately extinguishes it with a fire extinguisher. Just then, the school inspector arrives. He assumes Gammon caused the violence and broke school rules. While Gammon is sitting in a room, Sehun comes to him and gives him his glasses, which he dropped during the fight. Gammon tells him to leave. "If the teachers see you here with me, you'll be punished too." Sehun thanks him because Gammon fought for him. Just then, the school inspector arrives with Ms. Lee and the vice principal. Sehun immediately leaves. He walks toward his class. Everyone moves aside when they see him. Then Sehun realizes someone is behind him, and all the children move aside in fear at the sight of 3 boys. They grab Yanwoo and take him to Han, the #1 fighter and boss of the school. Han is accompanied by his closest partner, Hwan, who is holding a gun. Yanwoo is terrified. Park, the boy from another building, watches everything. In the office, the vice principal decides to expel Gammon to save his honor, but Ms. Lee opposes him. She says this isn't the child's fault, but the school's. "We're so worried about one school inspector when we should be worried about the 600 children in our school." Hearing this, the vice principal becomes enraged and says the boy resorted to violence. Ms. Lee says he had no other option, and from what she has seen in the school these past few days, the children won't be able to protect themselves without violence. Hearing this, the school inspector says, "You haven't changed at all. I remember where I saw you. You topped the teacher certification exam, but you never registered to become a teacher." The vice principal and Gammon are shocked to hear that Miss Lee topped that exam. Gammon remembers that Miss Lee once told her that she wanted to be a teacher who could have a positive influence on others. At this point, the school inspector asks Miss Lee to tell him how he can improve the school. Miss Lee has no idea, so she tells him about Gammon's study group, saying that it was this student's idea. She says that by helping him form a study group, they can improve the school. The vice principal tells Miss Lee not to get involved in this nonsense, but the school inspector likes the idea of forming a study group. He refuses to expel Gammon. The next day, Gammon wakes up early to train and returns to bed before his mother wakes up. He had been training in the morning for years without telling his mother. Then, on his way to school, Gammon meets San. Gammon tells him about his study group and says their study group will be approved by the education department. The vice principal then sets a condition for Miss Lee, saying that if the study group fails, her contract with the school will be terminated. This means Miss Lee will be expelled from the school. Miss Lee agrees. She then tells Gammon and Sehun that they must add 3 more people to their study group within 2 weeks. Only after reaching 5 members will the study group be accepted as a club. Hearing this, they both become a little nervous. But Miss Lee motivates them by reciting Napoleon's Code, and Gammon becomes enthusiastic. He and Sehun begin putting up study group posters throughout the school, and many students notice them. Gammon thinks they might find more than 10 students who want to join the study group. Then they both sit in the library and wait. Gammon also receives a call from a student who doesn't want to join the study group. He says, "I like a girl from the school next door. Can I get some tips on how to get closer to her?" Gammon sadly hangs up. Just then, an angry boy arrives. Gammon thinks they've finally found their 3rd member, but the boy has learned that someone has defeated Yan Bo-woo, and because he's the number 3 fighter in the entire 10th grade, he wants to kill Gammon. But Gammon thinks he wants to join the study group. Gammon happily brings him over and starts looking for the form. The boy attacks Gammon, but Gammon inadvertently dodges it. When Gammon opens the locker, the door hits the boy in the face, knocking him unconscious. The other boys watching from outside think Gammon is a truly excellent fighter. Sehun is astonished by this. Then, throughout the school, the boys start telling everyone that Gammon is a complete monster. He soundly defeated the 3rd-ranked fighter. Gammon asks Sehun if he'll ever come back again. He wonders how he managed to faint. Sehun tells him not to wait. He's not coming back. He didn't come here to join the study group. Just then, Gammon wakes up, scaring Sehun. Gammon has a new idea. He and Sehun start observing other children themselves, as Gammon has a talent. He can tell by looking into someone's eyes whether they want to study or not. Gammon now goes everywhere, but wherever he goes, children disappear because everyone is afraid of him. Just then, Gammon and Sehun see Park. Gammon immediately goes to him, tells him about the study group, and asks him to join. But Park says, "You're too confident or you don't care what the people who come with you have to endure." Park leaves. Meanwhile, Miss Lee notices that Hanwoo, the boy, hasn't come to school since he was beaten by Gammon. Miss Lee calls him, but his calls don't go through either. Miss Lee then finds his address and goes to his house, but there was no one there either. Meanwhile, Sehun asks Gammon why he wants to join a study group. He says Gammon should join an academy or an online class. Gammon says he's already done all this, but it didn't work. Sehun says to stop focusing so much on studies and instead pursue sports. He tells Gammon he's good at fighting anyway, but Gammon says he loves studying. Then Miss Lee arrives. To brighten his mood, she takes him to a store. There is a wealth of study supplies, and Gammon keeps staring at the large pencils. He also buys a red book he had been hiding from Sehun. Then, while eating ice cream, Sehun and Gammon ask Miss Lee why she chose Yusung High School when she topped the exam. She could have gone to any good school. Miss Lee explains that after scoring the highest, something happened in her life, and she forgot to register. After returning, Miss Lee finds a red book accidentally in her bag. There, Gammon discovers that his book has been switched with Miss Lee's belongings. Miss Lee tries to call Gammon to inform him that she has his book, but then she finds the door lock to her house broken. Miss Lee looks inside. It's Yanwoo, who has broken into her house. He is accompanied by several other boys, all of whom have come to kill Miss Lee at the behest of the same boy, Han. Miss Lee tells Yanwoo to get out of her house or she'll call the police. Yeonwoo replies that if he leaves without finishing the job, Han will have him killed. Gammon realizes that Miss Lee called him. He calls back, but Yeonwoo doesn't let Miss Lee answer the call and starts to attack her. But then the lights go out and a boy comes in, defeats them, rescues Miss Lee, and takes her to the elevator. Everyone else also starts coming up the stairs. Meanwhile, Miss Lee sees that the one who saved her is Park, the same boy who helped her earlier. Park goes down again and fights the boys. He brings Miss Lee to the parking lot, but then several more boys arrive. There are too many of them. Park refuses to run, but one punches him and knocks him unconscious. Park then goes into fighting mode to save Miss Lee. Meanwhile, Gammon has also left his house. He calls Miss Lee, but no one answers. Then he sees some boys hurrying away. They say they found her. Gammon becomes suspicious. Park is now single-handedly overpowering them. Park is very good at fighting these guys. He beats them terribly. Just then, Yeonwoo remembers that he has seen Park somewhere. Park is the son of the woman who was murdered while walking on the road, and Park was also stabbed in the stomach. He punches Park in the same spot, leaving Park unable to dodge it, and everyone else begins to beat him as well. Just then, Miss Lee regains her senses. Seeing this, she tells them to stop. She tries to stop them, but Gammon arrives. He grabs Yeonwoo and throws him away. But by then, several other boys have already arrived. Gammon, in fighting mode, single-handedly defends them. He even snatches a chain from one boy and beats him with it. Meanwhile, Gammon's mother notices that Gammon isn't in his room today. He had a curfew, which he broke. It's then that they discover Gammon's schedule, which includes nunchaku training. Gammon fashions a nunchaku from the chain and begins fighting the boys. He was also a master of nunchaku martial arts, and Gammon single-handedly deals with these men. Everyone starts running away in fear. Just then, Yeonwoo picks up a glass bottle and charges at Gammon, but Park pushes him away, knocking him down. Park then hits Yeonwoo and asks him to tell everything he knows about his mother's murder. Park is so furious that he could kill Yeonwoo. Seeing this, Gammon stops Park, and Yeonwoo immediately frees himself and flees. Park, injured, is unable to pursue him. He is furious. He couldn't find out anything about his mother's murder today. He tells Miss Lee, "You can do whatever you want to the boys who escaped, but justice doesn't exist here. I'm telling you this because seeing you reminds me of my mother." With this, he begins to leave. Gammon holds him back. Park says, "You should forget about the study group. It's impossible to form a study group in a school like this." Miss Lee then gives Gammon her book. It is about Bruce Lee's martial arts. Miss Lee returns to her room. Terrified, she picks up her phone to call the police. Just then, her doorbell rings and one of the boys is outside. He apologizes profusely to Miss Lee and says, "If I hadn't listened to them, they would have killed me." The boy isn't trying to make excuses. Miss Lee says, "Okay, I won't file a police complaint, but I need to know something from you." Meanwhile, Gammon and Sehun are waiting for their new member to join the study group. Then someone contacts them. They go to a class full of girls because the school is quiet. Meanwhile, Miss Lee asks the teacher about Han. The teacher says, "It seems no one told you about Han yet." He says, "Stop digging up information about Han like this, ma'am. Otherwise, you could lose your life." But Miss Lee isn't someone who gets intimidated. She calls Han over to talk to him. Meanwhile, Gammon and Sehun see the same girl who contacted them to join the study group. Her name is Jeju. Seeing her, Sehun says, "Let's leave this girl alone. She's the sister of the same boy, Yeonwoo, you hit." Jibu is now approached by some of the girls who used to bully her. They even start hitting on Jibu's friend Hayeon. But Jibu grabs her hand and says, "I told you, you can hit me as much as you want, but don't touch Won." The girl slaps Jibu again and kicks her to the ground. She then spits gum on Jibu and Won's study plan. But Gammon intervenes and saves her. He looks at Jibu and Won's study plan with great interest. Suddenly, a boy named Jin arrives. He's wearing a different uniform. He recognizes Gammon as the same guy who beat Yeonwoo. He says, "Jibu is my girlfriend. What are you doing with her?" Just then, Sion arrives and takes Jibu away. Jin tells Jibu, "You're talking to another boy again. Now you'll have to be spanked 3 times as punishment." He starts hitting Jibu's hand 3 times with a stick. For some reason, Jibu is forced to obey him, but Gammon arrives and stops him. He throws chewing gum at Jin. Jin, seeing this, is about to hit Gammon when the discipline chief arrives and stops him. Jin tells Gammon, "Hey kid, I'll see you later." With that, he leaves. Gammon then learns from Seo-hyun that the person he just confronted is a member of the disciplinary committee. Just then, Jibu's friend Won arrives. She tells Gammon that she signed the application for the study group under Jibu's name, and that Jibu is being bullied a lot these days. It all started when those girls used to bully her, but Jibu saved her. But that's not the real reason for Jibu's bullying. Won says none of the girls could beat Jibu in a fight, so they stopped bullying her. Then, some time ago, while her brother Yeonwoo was on his way to deliver something at work, someone attacked him and stole all his money. When Yeonwoo went to Jin to borrow money, he promised to return it. Jin met Yeonwoo steal some money from a nearby location and recorded a video of it. Afterward, he gave Yeonwoo a large amount of money. But now, because he had a video of Yeonwoo stealing, Jin began blackmailing Jibu using the video, and all the girls started bullying her. One says, I'm going to be transferred from this school soon, so I want to do something for Jibu before I leave. She says, I'm willing to join your study group, just get the video deleted. Gammon immediately agrees. Seo-yoon, seeing Won's innocent face, softens and agrees to help. Meanwhile, in the discipline committee room, two members find the same pen drive and realize it contains the video Jin used to blackmail Jibu. But before they can watch it, Jin arrives and starts beating them up. Then he says, if you want to see the video, come on. I'm going to upload it anyway. He tells them he didn't lend Yeonwoo his own money. It was Han's money, which he gave to Yeonwoo to record the video, and it was all Han's plan. He's a genius, Jin says. Gammon, hiding in a closet, overhears everything and prepares to fight. Ms. Lee is talking to Han. She says, I already know everything. You did something to that boy, Yeonwoo. He obeyed your every word and was even willing to kill people. You've used him enough now, so set him free. But Han says, that's it? You called me here to tell me this? I heard you were forming a study group. I thought you'd be an interesting person, but you're just like everyone else. He says, if Yeonwoo isn't coming to school, then just ignore him. But Ms. Lee refuses to listen. Just then, Gammon emerges from the closet and knocks the boys out. He sees the pen drive that was plugged into the CPU. Gammon fights Jin for a while, then cleverly takes the pen drive and keeps it for himself. After this, he confronts Jin again and starts fighting. Jin is nothing compared to him in combat. Gammon beats him and starts to leave. But then two more members arrive. Gammon pulls them in as well. Si-hyun and Hwan watch from a distance. They think Gammon is in danger. Si-hyun says, let's fight. I'll scream and curse loudly. Then we both start fighting. When the discipline committee members come to break it up, Gammon will escape. But Hwan says, I've never screamed or cursed at anyone before. I can't do that. Just then Jibu arrives. Gammon is in the room, single-handedly fighting them all. When the pen drive falls during the fight, Gammon catches it. But the boys try their best to snatch it from him. Jin gets up and says, I already copied the video to my computer. He starts uploading it to the internet. Seeing this, Gammon desperately tries to free himself. Jibu also learns everything. She starts heading toward Jin's room to confront him. But then Gammon runs out carrying the entire computer. He sprints with the CPU in his arms, but Gammon slips and the CPU rolls towards Sehun. Gammon stops all the discipline committee members and tells Seon that the CPU contains the video. Take it and run! Seon sees Jin coming toward him, picks up the CPU and starts running. He runs to the rooftop, but Jin arrives. Seon throws the entire CPU off the platform, destroying it. Seeing this, Jin tries to attack him. Just then Jibu arrives. She grabs Jin and throws him down, saying, the video is gone now. You can't blackmail me anymore. She throws him again, finishing him off. Han tells Ms. Lee, you're so proud of your students, but you'll regret it soon. We then see Yeonwoo walking toward the school. The discipline chief has just apprehended Gammon and notices the pen drive has fallen. He tells Won about it, but before Won can pick it up, the same bully girl grabs it and realizes it belongs to Jibu. She starts to take it away. Just then, Won gathers her courage and screams insults at the bully, angering her. The bully runs toward her to hit her, but Won pushes her away and snatches the pen drive. Jibu arrives, sees this, and praises Won for her bravery. Just then, a boy is carrying Jin back when Yeonwoo arrives. Han had told Yeonwoo the truth. Jin had attacked him that night, stolen his money, and had lent him money while also blackmailing his sister because of a video. Han gave Yeonwoo a knife, and now, knowing all this, Yeonwoo stabs Jin. But Miss Lee intervenes, saving Jin. In reality, she did this not to save Jin, but to protect Yeonwoo. She realized that Jiwoo and Yeonwoo had no one in this world, and both were working very hard. Jiwoo is older than Yeonwoo, but Yeonwoo still cares deeply for her. If Yeonwoo stabbed Jin, he would be imprisoned forever, which Miss Lee prevented. Yeonwoo is also saddened by having to stab. Miss Lee tells him, don't give up, Yeonwoo. I'll help you. But she faints from her injuries. Just then, Gammon arrives, and Miss Lee is immediately rushed to the hospital. She undergoes lengthy treatment in the operating room. A little later, Jiwoo comes to see Miss Lee. She musters up the courage to confront them, realizing Miss Lee's life has been saved. Gammon and Won are also present. Jiwoo meets them and apologizes to Miss Lee on behalf of Yeonwoo, saying, I personally brought him to the police. He will definitely be punished. But Miss Lee replies, you're also joining our study group, aren't you? Won says, I'm also joining the study group and I won't transfer from this school. Jiwoo joins the study group, much to everyone's delight. The four then return to the library. Gammon had drawn a chart, which still had a vacant spot for the fifth member. Here, Sehun reveals that Han has also been arrested by the detective for some reason. They suspect that Han will be sent to a detention facility for his actions. Just then, something breaks through the window, and someone shouts for Gammon to come out. Gammon looks out and sees the #1 fighter in 11th grade. After beating Jin, the news of Gammon's status as a monster had spread throughout the school. Because Jin was in 11th grade, the #1 fighter in 11th grade wants to fight Gammon. He calls Gammon down and brings a boy who wanted to join the study group. But this boy refuses to join and even mocks the study group. Seeing this, Gammon leaps down from the building and knocks the boy out with a single punch. Jin watches this unfold with amusement. Then Jeon reveals that he wanted to be the #1 fighter since childhood, but he was always weak, losing to anyone he encountered. However, Jeon didn't give up. He began training hard, but it didn't make much difference. Then he heard a boy say, if you want to be strong, go to Yusung Technical High School. Hearing this, Jin decided to attend Yusung High. He opened his classroom door on the first day and found a battle raging inside, which felt like heaven to him. He worked very hard after arriving, and through his fighting, he began to increase his rank on the app. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't advance beyond 17th. Then one day, he saw Gammon fighting and decided to join the study group. But now, knowing all this, Gammon refuses to accept Jay into the study group, saying that they created this study group for studying, not for ranking up on the fighting app. Jay says, "If you don't want me to join your group, then just teach me how to fight." But Gammon refuses. Jay says, "Okay, I'll study with you." Hearing this, Gammon tells him, "I'm sure you'll study, right?" Gammon gives him a test and some questions to solve. Then Jay sits alone and starts solving them. A short time later, a man from the same famous gang, the Vibe Gang, comes looking for Jay and asks him, "Are you Gammon?" Jay agrees. The man, assuming Jay to be Gammon, takes him away. The same boy was watching the park while all this happened. Meanwhile, Detective Jun visits Miss Lee in the hospital. He had known Miss Lee from before. Meanwhile, Jay is being taken somewhere by the man. He remembers that when kids used to beat him up as a child, his friend Auntie used to save him. Auntie believed that Jay would one day become powerful. But then, as he grew up, Auntie joined the same famous gang, the YB Gang, leaving Jay behind. But today, Jay is also going to join the same gang. The man brings Jay to a secluded area and tells him that he must pass a test to join the gang. If he reaches the car and takes the keys, he will pass, and the car will be his. But 3 men stop him from going there, which leads to a fight. When everyone else returns to the library, they find Jay missing. Just then, Park arrives to explain everything. Meanwhile, Jay has been badly beaten. The man realizes this boy isn't Gammon. He assaults Jay, and just then, Gammon, Juhi, and Park arrive to rescue him. Gammon holds Jay's results. He declares, "You've passed the test to join the study group." The gang member looking at Gammon realizes that this is the bespectacled Gammon. He then tells Gammon, "Let's start your test now. If you rescue your friend from me, you'll pass." Meanwhile, the same detective is talking to his colleague. He asks, "Who was that boy, Han?" He walked away calmly as soon as he arrived at the station that day, and he knew about me even though I'm a new transfer. His superior tells him to ignore it and let things be. Just then, the detective spots 2 high school students downstairs. They were Sei-san and Juan, who had come to report everything to the police to save everyone else. Meanwhile, Gammon, Juhi, and Park begin fighting with the gang members. Park and Juhi easily defeat theirs, but Gammon, using a piece of paper as a weapon, hits one boy, snatches his knife, and knocks him out. He helps both Park and Juhi while fighting, and then goes to fight a man from the same gang. But the man is stronger than the others. He dodges Gammon and starts attacking him instead. Then Gammon, Park, and Jiwoo attack him together, but he evades them and begins to overpower them. Gammon then goes into full fighting mode. He uses a special technique taught by his master, who had instructed him to use it only in urgent situations. Gammon uses the same technique to severely beat the man, pinning him to the wall with a barrage of punches, killing him. Park and Jiwoo are astonished by this. Park then goes to interrogate the man about his mother's murder case. Just then, the same car that was parked there moves toward Gammon, but Jay jumps up at the right moment and saves Gammon. Then Han's friend Juan emerges from the car. He says to Gammon, "Hey Gammon, you're really interesting. If you join our gang, you could get a manager position." But Gammon refuses, saying, "I'll go to college with my friends." Juan mocks them, and then he sees Park. He knew something about Park's mother's murder case, and that's why he's leaving. Park follows him to find out the truth. Seon and Juan also call the police. They had brought him here, after which the gang members are arrested. The detective tells them that the situation at the police station isn't good these days. Corruption is everywhere. That's why I can't tell you anything for sure, but if something like this happens to you again, here's my card. Call me immediately, he says. After this, the detective leaves. Gammon also immediately leaves for home. He tells his mother that he's on his way. Actually, Gammon's mother had imposed a curfew on him, requiring him to be home before 10 p.m. But for the past few days, Gammon has been repeatedly breaking his curfew, which is making his mother angry. Meanwhile, the detective tells Miss Lee that with the help of the children in the study group, they've been able to catch some of the gangsters. The statements from those gangsters might lead to the arrest of Han as well. Miss Lee is overjoyed to hear this. Han gives Miss Lee and Gammon 4 stars, meaning they are proving dangerous to him. Back home, all the study group members chat. Jin, who also recovered from the hospital, is now in the middle of a conversation. The next day, Gammon trains in the morning, and then they focus on their study group activities. They all study together. When the discipline committee members try to punish them for no reason, Miss Lee, who has recovered and is back at school, saves them, and everyone is overjoyed to see her. She then goes to the vice principal and shows him some papers, which contain the names of all 5 study group members. The vice principal is shocked. Miss Lee also reveals that she hasn't filed any charges against the boy, Yeonwoo, because she didn't want him to go to jail. Yeonwoo has only been sent to the detention center for a short time. She then tells the principal that she wants to call a disciplinary committee meeting on the boy. The principal becomes angry. Miss Lee leaves. Then we see that last year, a teacher had also wanted to call a disciplinary committee meeting on Han. The principal remembers that time. Meanwhile, Miss Lee informs Gammon and the others that their group has now officially become a club. "We will be given our own rooms," she says. "Our first activity will be a study group exchange meeting, where we'll meet and learn from study groups from other schools." Then they arrive, strangely prepared, ready to leave for Seoul. Everyone Everyone is watching. Two boys try to fight them, and Jiwoo and Jun teach them a lesson and make them apologize. Miss Lee then arrives, but Gammon hasn't arrived yet. He's still on the bus. They arrive at the university without him, where they were supposed to meet another study group. Miss Lee knew a teacher there who made all the arrangements. Miss Lee told them to message Gammon directly to come over. They then went to the school's study group room, which was quite a nice room, but they ignored them even after seeing them. Jiwoo said, "Hey Lalwal, did you hear these people silently calling us fools?" It was then that they realized that a member of this study group hadn't arrived yet. Miss Lee said, "It's okay. One of our members hasn't arrived yet either, so we can start the meeting later." They then sat down across from each other. Seyun and Ban were very nervous, but Jeon and Jae could clearly see that they were silently calling them fools. Jun asked, "Where is Gammon? You messaged him, right?" Jiwoo agreed. Then Jeon notices that Jiwoo made a spelling mistake when writing the school's name, writing Manic High School instead of Manil High. Jiwoo suggests that there might be a school with that name nearby. But Gammon found the school with the same name, and Gammon started going there. This is the end of part 1 of this Korean drama. If you want to see part 2, write it in the comment section, and I will upload it soon. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more episodes and updates.